1 evolution point. That's it. That's all this guy spends. And a filthy peasant farmer with dirt on her face turns into a full-blown elf archer with silver hair, pointed ears, and a stat sheet that reads like a cheat code. 1 point. Meanwhile, across the world, other lords are hunting 100 goblins just to get their D-rank speed talent to feel useful. This dude is out here turning peasants into goddesses on pocket change, and he hasn't even started yet. Buckle in, because our guy just walked into a survival game with the single strongest talent in existence, and the rest of the continent has no idea he's alive. Let's rewind. 1 second, he's a college student, chilling in his dorm. Next second, gone. Yanked out of his life. Dumped face first into a shack the size of a walk-in closet. 10 square meters of raw depression. A cot, 4 walls, no bathroom, definitely no Wi-Fi. A robot voice starts talking in his skull. Endless continent. Everyone's a lord now. Survive or die. There's a beast wave in 7 days. Have fun. Our guy, being a lifelong web novel addict, catches the plot instantly. Billions of humans got yanked. Everyone got dropped into their own protected patch. Everyone has to build up citizens, farm monsters, and grow before the barrier drops. Original? Not remotely. Real? Very. A status panel floats up in front of him. Level 1 village, 0 citizens, 100 wood, 100 stone. He is now, officially, the CEO of a company with no employees, no product, and a customer base that wants him dead. Then his talent activates. Golden light rips out of his body like a solar flare with attitude. The system screen goes ballistic. Text spinning, exclamation marks stacking. SSS-rank Infinite Evolution. Unique. Every unit, every building, every weapon in his territory can be evolved. Every evolution has a chance to mutate into something the system has never seen before. Cost? Evolution points. Earned by killing monsters. His brain reboots. Because at the same moment, World Chat is having a meltdown that could power a city. Some poor guy is sobbing about an F-rank talent that gives him 1% more crop yield. That's not a talent, that's an insult wearing a name tag. Some other clown is bragging about a D-rank speed buff like he just won the lottery. Then everyone starts screaming because a rich kid named Lee Howen pulled an A-rank talent that summons second-tier beasts. A-rank. The chat treats it like the second coming. And our guy is sitting there with SSS. SSS. A tier the system may as well have invented on the spot for him. He is holding a nuclear warhead in a knife fight, and every single lord on the planet is loudly comparing their butter knives. Rule number 1 of overpowered protagonists. Shut up. He minimizes world chat. Never even types a word. Nothing. Let the loud ones stay loud. Time to actually look at his kingdom. He steps outside. His territory is a patch of dirt in a white bubble. Beyond the bubble, a forest so dark it eats the sunlight. Somewhere in that tree line, growls. 0-star neighborhood. Would not recommend. Next to his shack is a stone pool. The recruitment pool. 2 free citizens per day. He slaps that button like a man mashing an elevator button in a horror movie. 2 women rise out of the water. Peasant clothes. Dirty faces. Confused expressions. Their tags read farmer, F potential, kinda knows how to farm. Groundbreaking. Nation building starts here, ladies and gentlemen, with 2 women whose greatest qualification is having seen a vegetable at least once. He gives them names. The braver one becomes Rushi. The shyer one becomes Lanchi. Then the system slaps another notice on his screen. 7 days until the beast wave. Barrier drops. Monsters flood in. Other lords become fair game. Have fun surviving. Everyone else in chat starts panicking again. Half of them are basically writing their own obituaries. Not this guy. His eyes go straight to the tree line, where a couple of goblins are skulking around. Little gray gremlins carrying sticks. Ugly, weak. Full of one thing. Evolution points. He picks up his starter wooden spear. Absolute museum piece. Tells his 2 farmers to stay put. Steps through the barrier. The forest smells like a wet trash bag having a bad week. He crouches in the bushes. Watches. Waits. A lone goblin wanders too close, distracted, dumb, doomed. Our guy launches out of cover, drives the spear through the little idiot's back, and gets his very first ding. 1 kill, 1 evolution point. He sprints back through the barrier like a man carrying stolen goods. Now the fun starts. He turns and looks at Rushi. Doesn't touch the shack. Doesn't touch the pool. People first. Buildings are just walls. People fight, mine, build, grow. He puts his hand on Rushi's shoulder, feeds in the point, and speaks the magic word. Evolve. Green light swallows her. She trembles. The system screams. Mutation triggered. Farmer evolved into elf descendant. The light peels away, and our guy nearly bites his own tongue in half. Rushi is not Rushi anymore. Silver hair down to her waist. Ears sharp as blades. Skin like polished porcelain. Eyes two green pools that don't blink like a normal human's eyes blink. Her peasant clothes are struggling for their lives against the sudden and very aggressive upgrade in structural integrity. Her stats jumped from Tier 1 to Tier 3, skipped a whole rank in the middle, F potential rocketed up to B. Her skill list now includes nature magic, archery, and magical sensing. 1 point. He spent 1 point, and turned a starving village girl into an elf warrior mage. Rushi drops to one knee, voice shaking, thanking her lord for the grace of rebirth. Loyalty 98, locked in. Behind them, Lanchi's jaw is somewhere near her collarbone. Her eyes scream, "Me too! Please, me too!" So loud he can practically hear the ping. But priorities. His new elf archer has 0 bow. Archery skill with no bow is a driver's license with no car. He burns some wood, uses his lord's crafting tab, and out pops the saddest weapon he's ever seen. The system's own description calls it a bow that might fall apart if you look at it funny. Attack power 1 to 3. On a good day, this thing couldn't take out a mosquito with a personal vendetta. But, and this is the beautiful part, the item description ends with 3 magic words. Can be evolved. Music to his ears. He's already grinning. Only problem, he's fresh out of points. So back to work. He slips out of the barrier, finds another goblin standing around picking its nose, and skewers it from behind. 1 kill, 1 point. Runs back inside. Slaps the evolution beam onto the trash bow. White light this time, not green. The bow stretches, curves, grows elegant. Fine wood grain climbs the shaft. The string hums. A notification chimes. Trash short bow evolved into elven longbow. Tier 3. Attack power 15 to 25. Bonus accuracy. Bonus attack speed. Handcrafted by elven artisans. Beloved by every elf archer alive. He turned a dollar store toy into a legendary weapon by murdering 1 goblin. Balance patches are gonna come for him eventually. For now, free real estate. Rushi takes the longbow. Her whole aura shifts. The forest goddess energy locks and loads into something a lot more dangerous. She's not a fairy anymore. She's a sniper. They step back into the forest together. Different energy, different tune. Last time, he was praying not to trip. Now he has a Tier 3 elf archer at his back who can spot the exact vein in a goblin's throat from 100 meters away. They find a goblin camp inside 10 minutes. 5, maybe 6 of the little gray dorks sitting around a fire making goblin small talk. Probably arguing about who stole whose stick. They have no idea Death is walking up with silver hair. Rushi lifts the longbow. Draws in 1 clean motion. Moonlight catches her profile. She looks like the cover of a fantasy novel he definitely wouldn't have bought in a store, but would have absolutely bought online. Twang. Arrow crosses the clearing like a laser. Punches a goblin's skull clean through. Minus 32 damage. That goblin had maybe 20 HP total. That's not a kill. That's shipping the body express to the afterlife with tracking. The rest of the camp panics. They charge her. Bad move. Twang, 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 twang. She fires like she has a machine gun stuck in her spine. Every arrow lands in something important. Throat, eye, chest, throat again. 5 goblins, 5 arrows, 5 corpses, about 4 seconds, front to back. Our guy just stands there holding his wooden spear like a mascot at a football game where he brought a foam finger by mistake. He tries to sound like a competent leader, says, "Good work." Rushi lights up like his praise means more than the massacre she just committed. This woman would delete a species without blinking, but a good job gets her all warm inside. He is not going to try to understand it. He is simply going to enjoy it. What follows is a farming session for the ages. They roll through goblin camps like a 2-person cleanup crew. Rushi is the damage. Our guy is the scout. Any goblin inside her range has a life expectancy of about 3 seconds. Camp after camp. Trees, ambushes, snipes, sprints, dead. 80+ evolution points in a single hour. While other lords are still trying to figure out how to hold a sword without slicing their own leg off, this guy is running a full-scale goblin extinction with a supermodel elf sniper. Absolutely diabolical. Rushi eventually warns him that deeper in the forest, there are things a lot worse than goblins. Smart leaders know when to pull back. He pulls back. Also, Lanchi has been waiting, very impatiently. He can feel it from across the tree line. He returns to base. Lanchi is at the barrier before he's even through it, eyes doing a full puppy dog sparkle. My lord, please, please, please. He puts his hand on her shoulder, speaks the word, green light, and once again, mutation. Farmer evolved into moon priestess. The light drops. Lanchi is now a serene, white-robed celestial, with skin like pale porcelain and hair that catches light it shouldn't be catching. Her energy is completely different from Rushi's. Rushi is, I will put an arrow through your face and look flawless doing it. Lanchi is, I will gently hold your hand while you experience internal peace, forever. Her potential rating comes out A, higher than Rushi. His shy little wallflower had more ceiling than his sniper. Her skills? Moonlight Healing, Moon's Blessing, a buff that pumps up every ally's stats. Moon Chain, Crowd Control, wraps an enemy up in solid moonlight. Damage, healing, buffs, control. She has all 4 categories in one package, which means he now has a perfect starter party. Sniper, healer, buffer, controller. Built out of 2 farmers and a dream, Lanchi opens her eyes. 2 deep dark gems, moonlight pooling inside them. She looks at him like he personally invented sunlight. Whispers her thanks in a voice so soft his skeleton considers retiring on the spot. Loyalty 99. He glances at his evolution point total. 81 left, time to upgrade the pipeline. The recruitment pool sits there looking basic. 2 citizens a day is peanuts. He slaps his hand on the stone and burns 10 evolution points. Golden light erupts. The rough basin swells, doubles, transforms. Cheap rock becomes carved white jade. The water goes from muddy puddle to liquid life energy that smells like hope had a spa day. Recruitment pool evolved to Spring of Life. Level 2. Daily recruits doubled from 2 to 4. Minimum potential of new arrivals goes up from F to E. And, bonus, small chance of pulling a special unit. Special unit? He doesn't even know what that means yet, and he's already drooling. He didn't have any recruit charges left today, though, so he sleeps on it, sort of. Next morning, first thing, he sprints to the spring like a kid on Christmas, slaps the recruit button. 4 charges. Boom. 4 figures rise out of the glowing water. Not farmers, not this time. 4 tall women in leather armor, spears in hand, combat-ready expressions locked on. Their tags read Tier 2, Female Spear Soldiers, E-Potential, Basic Spear Combat, Actual Soldiers. Trained, armed, willing. They drop to one knee in perfect sync. Greetings, my lord. 4 voices, 1 breath. Very professional, very promising. Our guy stares at them, then stares at his remaining evolution points. Then a little smile crawls up his face, because a perfect, absolutely reckless idea is forming in his brain. Why field regular troops when he can field an entire army of evolved ones? He locks eyes with the fiercest of the 4, strong jaw, sharp eyes. The kind of woman who probably arm wrestles bears as a warm-up. He asks her name. She has none. She asks him to give her one. He gives her one. Pujuan, meaning breaker of armies, because our guy is not exactly subtle with names. He puts his hand on her shoulder. She trembles a little. Even the fierce ones blush, apparently. He'll be filing that observation away for later. Right now, evolve. Cost, 5 points. Tier 2 units run 5 times more than Tier 1s. Fair enough. Premium product, premium price. Confirm. Light swallows her. The system processes. Then it fires the notification he was hoping for. Mutation triggered. Female spear soldier evolved into dragon blood warrior. The light this time is not gentle. It's angry. Deep crimson, like a volcano crashed a wedding. Somewhere in the distance, an actual dragon roar echoes across the forest. No dragon in sight, just vibes so heavy they generate audio. 10 out of 10 atmosphere. Pujuan's leather armor blows apart. Before anyone can panic, dark red dragon scales burst through her skin and knit into a full biological battle plate. She grows taller, legs longer. 2 little dragon horns push out of her forehead like deadly accessories. Streaks of crimson snake through her black hair, moving in a wind that doesn't exist. She lands from the transformation holding a flaming spear. Looks at our guy like he's her god, ready to commit war crimes on request. Tier 4, A Potential. Class, Dragon Blood Warrior. Skills, Dragon Blood Boil, which turns her into a berserker. Flame Thrust, which deletes people. Dragon Scale Body, which basically means good luck. She jumped 2 full tiers in one evolution, from Common Spear Girl to Dragon-Powered Killing Machine. She slams her flaming spear into the dirt hard enough to make it hum, and swears she'll burn the last drop of her dragon blood in his service. Loyalty 100. Straight up 100. He grins so hard his cheeks hurt. 66 evolution points left. 3 more spear soldiers waiting. And judging by their faces, watching Pujuan's transformation, they don't want to be normal anymore either. They drop to their knees so fast the ground makes a noise. Yes, please, now. Boom, boom, boom. 3 more evolutions. 15 points burned. No mutations this round. You can't win the lottery on every pull. But all 3 come out of the light in matching black plate armor, tower shields, steel spears, cold eyes behind visors, heavy Schwanja guards. Tier 3. D Potential. Skills, shield defense, spear formation, protection. In simple terms, 3 walking walls with stabbing capabilities. Roster check. Pujuan, Tier 4 Dragon Warrior, will set enemies on fire and look magnificent doing it. 3 Schwanja guards, Tier 3 heavy tanks, walk toward you slowly while you realize nothing you do actually scratches them. Rushi, Tier 3 elf sniper, if she can see you, you're already deceased. Lanchi, Tier 3 moon priestess, the reason everyone else gets to fight recklessly. 6 elite women flanking 1 guy in dirty travel clothes. Other lords would sell a kidney to see a lineup like this on day 2. Most of them are still trying to convince a single farmer to stop crying about her F-rank talent. Our guy stares at the tree line. The little goblin scrubs on the outskirts can't feed his appetite anymore. Killing Tier 1 trash with a Tier 4 Dragon Warrior is like using a jackhammer to open a soda can. Fun to watch, but not efficient. Time to go deeper. He barks orders. Battle formation. They roll out. The formation is honestly ridiculous for a newbie. 3 Schwanja guards in the middle, shields up, covering him and Lanchi. Pujuan on point, flaming spear crackling, radiating pure, come-at-me energy. The shadows literally flinch when she walks past them. Rushi vanishes into the treetops, silent, silver, spotting everything from above. They find their first real fight fast. Not regular goblins, goblin warriors. Tier 2. About a dozen of them, green skin, rusty iron swords, actually looking threatening. For any other lord out there, this would be nightmare fuel content. For our guy, this is a walking piggy bank. He gives one word. Kill. Pujuan launches like a human missile. Dragon Blood Boil activates. Red aura floods around her. Speed doubles. Power doubles. Flame thrust. Her spear becomes a crimson streak and punches through 3 goblin warriors at once. Their bodies don't just die, they detonate. Green sprays across the trees. The rest of the warriors panic and charge her anyway. Brave, stupid, but brave. Their rusty swords bounce off her dragon-scale armor like plastic forks pinging off a tank. -1 damage. -1. -1. They can't hurt her. Not with anything. She looks at them the way a person looks at a fly that's really trying its best. Then she does a spinning sweep and cuts 2 of them in half. Meanwhile, from somewhere invisible up in the branches, Rushi picks 2 more off with sniper shots. Head, throat, done. Business as usual. The Schwanja guards don't even get to move. Lanchi doesn't need to heal anyone. His tank line and his healer stand there watching the Pujuan show. Total fight. Under 10 seconds. 20 evolution points from a single skirmish. Tier 2 mobs give 2 points ahead. The math is getting beautiful. He waves everyone forward. Deeper, deeper, deeper. The forest smells wetter, meaner, older. New monsters start showing up. Goblin shamans throwing tiny fireballs from cracked wooden sticks. Scary for other lords. For his squad, it's like watching toddlers pelt a fortress with tennis balls. The Schwanja guards' shields don't even get warm. Pujuan is in full cleanup mode. Every swing is a goblin deletion event. Rushi is picking off shamans like it's carnival ducks. Always targeting the casters first, because she's not just gorgeous, she's smart. Lanchi tosses Moon's blessing buffs on the frontliners, then floats near the Lord like he personally hung the stars. Evolution points sail past 100. Then something roars. Not a goblin screech. A real roar. The kind that punches through the trees and shakes leaves loose. Out of a cave stomps the biggest, ugliest goblin our guy has seen so far. 2 meters tall. Dark red skin. Muscles stacked on muscles. Wearing a crown of animal bones and feathers like the goblin prom king. In one hand, a spiked club that looks like it weighs more than he does. Behind him, a dozen goblin warriors as his personal entourage. Goblin Chieftain, Tier 3, Elite. Skills, Heavy Strike, War Stomp, Chieftain's Command. The system message helpfully suggests he handle with care. Our guy's heart rate goes from cruise to interesting. Time to actually play General. Schwanja Guards, Front. Lock Shields. Pujuan, Flank. Rushi, Focus Fire on the Chief. Lanchi, Keep the front line topped up. 6 voices. Yes, sir. The 3 armored guards lock into a shield triangle and charge straight at the ugly boss like moving walls. He swings that club like he's aiming for the parking lot. Clang. The lead guard eats the full hit. Minus 45 damage. She skids back 2 whole steps. 2. That's the best shot from a Tier 3 elite, and it barely nudges her. She digs in and shoves her shield right back into his face. Lanchi. Heal. Lanchi lifts a hand like a conductor cueing the orchestra. Soft moonlight rains down on the hurt guard. Full HP restored, plus a bit extra. The chief just hit for 45. Lanchi healed for 50. Our guy's team is straight up out-healing the boss's damage. This fight is already over. The chief just doesn't know yet. He raises the club for a bigger swing, charging up something nastier. Lanchi's eyes go razor sharp. She traces an arc in the air. Moonchain. A silver rope of pure moonlight snakes through the air like a living thing, wraps around his raised arm, then his other arm, then his legs, then his whole massive body. He freezes. Locked. A big red bound icon pulses over his head. Our guy grins. Everyone, unload. Pujuan is already mid-air before he finishes the word. Dragon blood boil peaks. Flame thrust, she becomes a crimson comet and drives her spear straight through his unguarded chest. Minus 188. Critical hit. Rushi follows the same second. 3 arrows in a tight triangle. 1 in the eye, 1 in the throat. 1 in a spot that's mercifully not going to be described here. Minus 45, minus 48, minus 92 crit. In 2 seconds of focused fire, the boss's health bar loses half its length. Half. Gone. He roars, breaks the chains with pure fury, and slams the ground. War Stomp. Shockwave rolls out and knocks the front line back, stunning everyone for a moment. Then he yells again, Chieftain's Command, and his goblin bodyguards go feral. Red eyes, foaming mouths, charging like they just chugged energy drinks laced with malice. Our guy doesn't even blink. Lanchi, defense buff the guards. Rushi, clean the trash. Pujuan, get ready to end him. His team moves like a machine. Lanchi wraps the Schwanja guards in defensive moonlight. Rushi swivels and starts one-shotting the berserker goblins mid-charge. None of them reach the front line. They die running. The stun wears off. Pujuan grins. She sprints back at the chief, trading blows at melee. Dragon scales versus goblin muscle. He's hitting her, doing almost nothing. She's hitting him, taking chunks. Lanchi locks him down with Moonchain one more time. Pujuan winds up a horizontal sweep, and the chief's head sails through the air. Just flying. Separated mid-roar. Lands somewhere in a bush. Goblin Chieftain, Elite, defeated. 20 evolution points. Achievement unlocked. First elite kill. Reward, 1 bronze treasure chest. Bronze chest. Bronze. Rankings go black iron, bronze, silver, gold. His first drop is already bronze. He's basically speedrunning the loot table. The chest is sitting next to the boss's headless corpse, humming softly. Our guy walks up to it like a kid approaching a wrapped bike on his birthday. His girls immediately form a defensive ring around him, 6 pairs of eyes locked on the glowing box like cats watching a laser pointer. He kneels, puts a hand on the cold lid, whispers the word. The chest clicks open. Teal light floods the small hollow. 2 items sitting on a cushion of soft glow. A rolled parchment, a gray crystal the size of his fist. He unrolls the parchment first, and his heart does a flip. Level 1 Barracks Construction Blueprint. Effect, train 10 soldiers per day. His upgraded spring already pushes out 4 recruits daily. Add this, and he's got a 14-a-day pipeline. That's not a village, that's a factory. Other lords are still trying to convince one farmer to hold a stick, and he's about to start assembly lining a platoon. The crystal is next. Low-quality energy crystal. Bonus! It can be broken down for 100 wood and 100 stone. More resources. Free. Day 1. While the rest of the continent is currently punching trees with their bare hands, he is swimming in raw material. He looks up at his squad, then up at the sky, then at the barrier back home. And somewhere out in the dark, a lord named Wang Tong is about to wake up, look at the map, and decide he owns half the region. That's tomorrow's problem. March home. Loot bags full, boots muddy, morale absolutely stratospheric. Our guy is already doing math in his head, because that's what he does now. Manor upgrade needs 200 wood and 200 stone. He has crumbs, but he has that crystal. He decomposes it. 100 wood, 100 stone, delivered instantly. Then he decomposes every rusty goblin cleaver, dented shield, and broken stick they hauled back. Everything melts down into raw material. Still short, he looks at his 3 Xuanja guards, elite tier 3 killers, full plate, tower shields, combat trained, U3, chop every tree in this territory, mine every rock. They pick up axes and start swinging like it's the job they were born for. Overqualified? Absolutely. Loyalty 100 means when the Lord says harvest lumber, elite warriors harvest lumber and don't ask questions. 20 minutes of intense manual labor later, resources hit 200 and 200. He slams the upgrade button. A pillar of golden light drops from the sky and eats his shack whole. The wood stretches, grows, thickens. Magic runes crawl along the walls. Window carve themselves into existence. A second story pops up. What used to be a glorified shed becomes an actual 2-story fantasy manor, with a meeting hall downstairs and real rooms upstairs. Lord's Manor upgraded to level 2. Territory expands from 1,000 square meters to 10,000, 10 times bigger. New building slots unlock. Citizen loyalty pops up by 5 across the board, just because the headquarters looks less embarrassing. Apparently people respect you more when you don't live in a plywood box. Who could have guessed? He pulls the barracks blueprint out, slots it in near the forest edge, strategic positioning, so if anything breaches, the barracks troops respond first. Big brain lord energy. Cost, 150 wood, 100 stone, 20 iron. He is once again broke. Building a kingdom feels like a gambling addiction where the casino is made of lumber, but his eyes drift to his evolution point count. 165. Beautiful, glowing, ripe. And his gaze drifts, real casual-like, over to the spring of life. 50 points to evolve it a second time. 50 is chunky. 50 is basically a whole night of goblin farming, but if it pumps out more citizens faster, that's not spending, that's investing. He is basically Warren Buffett, except his portfolio is elf women. Slaps the evolve button. Green life energy pours into the fountain. The water starts boiling. Gold flecks bloom in the liquid. The stone platform lights up with fresh runes. Spring of life evolved to level 3. Rarity, rare. Daily recruits doubled from 4 to 8. Chance of pulling a high-potential citizen goes up. Behind him, Lanchi is staring at him like he just split the sea. My lord, you are magnificent. He'll take it. New day rolls in. Recruit charges refresh. He mashes the button. 8 figures rise out of the water. 4 fluffy cat-eared girls with soft tails and lithe frames. Beastkin, actual cat people. 4 tall, tanned, athletic women radiating serious, I just walked out of an intense workout energy. All 8 kneel at once. All 8 ask for orders. 8 at once. He is running an immigration department now. He sends them out to gather resources with the Xuanja guards, and by nightfall the barracks stone is stacked and ready. He slams the build button. Walls rise. A stern military structure materializes with training dummies inside, weapon racks, and the low, steady hum of a place built for pumping out soldiers. Level 1 barracks, complete. Daily training capacity, 10 soldiers. He hits train, 10 swordswomen slot. The doors seal. Muffled shouts and clangs pour out at fast-forward speed. 10 minutes later, the doors open. 10 women march out in matching leather armor, long swords on their belts, hard eyes locked forward, boots striking the ground in perfect sync. 10 soldiers. Just, poof. Day 1.5. Roster now, 1 dragon warrior, 3 heavy tanks, 1 elf sniper, 1 moon priestess, 10 fresh swordswomen, 8 workers. 115 evolution points still in the bank. Then his eyes drift, dangerously, to Pujuan. She's standing in the moonlight, flaming spear resting casual on her shoulder, dragon horns catching the light, looking like a character select screen from a very expensive video game. And a beautiful, reckless, absolutely irresponsible thought sneaks into our guy's brain. What if he evolved her, again? She's already tier 4, already a dragon-blooded war machine, already able to turn tier 2 mobs into confetti. But what if she could be more, tier 5 in the newbie phase? Nobody on the entire continent has that, not one lord. That's not just winning the game, that's playing a different game entirely on a different console. Screw it, doing it. He calls her over. She practically vibrates when he tells her she gets to evolve again. Same energy as a kid told Christmas is happening twice this year. He puts his hand on her forehead. Then the system throws a warning he wasn't expecting. Consecutive high-intensity evolution on the same unit carries an extremely high probability of triggering unknown mutation. Proceed with caution. Unknown mutation. Smart people would pause. Read that twice. Think. He is not smart people. Confirm. The energy that erupts from his palm is on a different tier entirely. Not the soft green light from before. Not the gentle white from the bow. A full pillar of gold and crimson fire punches straight up into the sky and shoves the moon aside. Actually shoves it. The moonlight has to take a step back like a bouncer got in its face. A dragon roar detonates out of the light pillar. The real kind. The kind that vibrates rib cages and makes ancestors nervous. Every single person in his territory drops. His 3 heavy tanks in full plate, down. His fresh recruits, sprawled. His cat girls, flat on the dirt. Even Rushi and Lanchi go pale as ghosts, barely holding their feet. Only our guy stays standing, planted. He does not flinch when his investment is cooking. Inside the pillar, Pujuan's dragon red armor shatters. Then Golden Fire rebuilds it from scratch. Her body stretches taller. 2 massive dragon wings unfurl behind her. Real wings. Pure, concentrated energy, wide enough to blot out the sky. The light fades. She's floating, off the ground. Gravity apparently sent its regrets. Her hair is living crimson fire now, strands burning without heat. Her armor is gold and red dragon scale, sculpted like a divine artist finished it and then broke the tools. Her flaming spear is gone. In its place, a massive dragon fang greatsword wreathed in roaring flame. This is not a weapon. This is a mission statement. 2 golden dragon horns sit on her brow, small and elegant, somehow making her look both terrifyingly powerful and devastatingly beautiful in the same breath. Our guy opens her stat sheet. His soul leaves his body for about 3 seconds. Dragon Descendant War God. Tier 5. Legendary quality. Unique class. Loyalty. Die Hard. Skills. Dragon God Blood Bloodline. Blazing Dragon Breath. Dragon Descendant's Wrath. And 1 locked skill sitting there like a smoking gun. Human dragon form. Locked. Meaning, at some point, she gets to turn into an actual dragon. Her potential rating isn't a letter anymore. It just says limitless. The system gave up trying to measure her and basically wrote, "We can't grade this, good luck." She descends slowly, wings folding, and kneels before him. Certain assets shift in the process in ways that are frankly disrespectful to his concentration. Her voice is deeper now, husky, undertoned like something that could melt steel by talking to it. Your servant, Pujuan, greets the master. He reaches down and pulls her up. You are my strongest blade. Her eyes ignite with pure warfire. I will cut down all enemies. 100 points. Best 100 points he's ever spent. No regrets. Not one. Everyone else in the territory is still on the ground, twitching, trying to remember what standing up feels like. Her dragon aura basically slapped every living thing in a 50-meter radius flat. Everyone, up! He doesn't yell. Doesn't need to. Something about his voice just works now, standing next to a tier 5 legendary he personally cooked up out of a nameless spear girl. Time to organize. Pujuan gets promoted to First Sword General. All combat units report to her. Lanchi runs internal affairs and logistics. Rushi runs recon, perimeter security, and starts building him a ranged division. Command structure, done. He gives Pujuan and Rushi the rooms next to his in the manor. Top generals get top accommodations. Plus he wants them close in case something attacks at 3 in the morning. That's the official reason. He'll be filing that in the paperwork. Rushi says a curt thank you and disappears into her room. All business, 0 small talk, 10 out of 10 professional. Pujuan does not leave. She lingers in his doorway. moonlight painting her armor, her whole body radiating heat like a space heater that hits the gym. Master. She steps closer. Sulfur and some kind of intoxicating perfume roll off her, like standing downwind from a volcano that wears cologne. Her dragon blood is still boiling, she says, husky voice cracking the room's temperature. He backs up. His spine kisses the doorframe. There is nowhere to retreat. Classic horror movie positioning, only the monster in front of him is a 6-foot war god who just wants to hold his hand. She reaches out, wraps her armored fingers around his. Her palm is scalding, but the second they connect, wild energy floods into his body, not burning him, feeding him. Every cell throws a tiny party. Ding. Receive Dragon Chi feedback from the Dragon Descendant War God. Constitution. Permanently up 1 point. He is getting a permanent stat boost from holding her hand. His Dragon Warrior needs physical contact to calm her blood, and it makes him tougher every time. This is not a side effect. This is a feature. Pujuan's flames cool. Her burning inferno eyes settle into warm candlelight. She looks at him with an expression way too soft for someone who split a boss in half 3 hours ago. Master's presence brings Pujuan peace. He extracts his hand with the urgency of a man defusing a bomb. Come back tomorrow for another calming session. Now go sleep. Big day tomorrow. She lingers just long enough to give him a look loaded with about 14 different emotions he is not equipped to process. Then armor clinks her way to her room. He shuts his door, leans against it, breathes like he sprinted a mile. That woman is going to be the death of him. He grabs his composure off the floor and opens World Chat, because he needs distraction, and the chat has been feral all day. The chat is, in fact, a full-blown circus. Some guy is screaming about being surrounded by dire wolves. Some other guy claims he found a trick. If you yell, "I'm your daddy" at goblins, drop rates go up. Someone tried it. He is now being chased with extreme prejudice. Comedy gold. Absolute channel of chaos. Then some clown named Xiao Long pins a screenshot. A wolf rider. Tier 2. Curved sword. Big black wolf underneath. Dressed up like a discount step warlord. The caption. See this Tier 2 grassland wolf cavalry? I'm the king of everything within 10 miles. Come fight me if you dare. The chat erupts. People worshipping him. People begging to join. Someone literally offering to trade their citizen for his protection. Our guy glances at the screenshot. Tier 2, Wolf Rider. Meanwhile, one wall away, Pujuan is breathing slow, deep dragon breaths in her sleep, exhaling actual heat. This guy is flexing a bicycle. Our lord is sitting on a stealth bomber. He scrolls past the cringe parade, and something else catches his eye before it gets buried. Intel post. From a guy calling himself Bikes. Black Wind Forest outskirts. Coordinates listed. Bronze treasure chest spotted. Guarded by a Tier 1 goblin elite and a couple dozen regular goblins. Poster admits he's too weak to solo it, asks if anyone nearby wants to team up and split the loot. Bronze chest. His pupils dilate like a cat spotting a laser pointer. Chests rank black iron, bronze, silver, gold. His first ever chest already handed him a barracks blueprint. A bronze chest could hold something genuinely game-changing. He saves the coordinates. Black Wind Forest isn't far. Pujuan could sprint there before breakfast. Sorry, Bikes. He's about to close chat when a blood-red banner slams across his screen. Regional announcement. Not just his territory, the whole surrounding region. The name on the announcement. Wong Tong. Blood Moon Forest and every territory around it now belong to his soaring dragon guild. All lords in the area, surrender before protection ends. Hand over female citizens. Hand over half the resources. Refuse, and when the barrier drops he leaves nothing alive. His talent is A-rank Army Command. His starter unit is Tier 3 Griffin Knight. Come at him, if you dare. The chat implodes. Who is this psycho? A-rank talent, Tier 3 Griffins from the jump, it's over. My territory's near Blood Moon Forest. Please, someone. People panicking. People crying. Lords already talking about surrender. Our guy reads the announcement again, slow. His own territory happens to sit inside the region Wong Tong just claimed, which means this loud warlord is going to come knocking on his door eventually. And when he does, he's going to find a Tier 5 legendary dragon war god waiting for him, with a flaming greatsword and an attitude problem. Soaring Dragon Guild. Wong Tong, filed away under future entertainment. He closes the chat, stares at his ceiling. 15 evolution points left, basically loose change. He'll fix that. Tomorrow, priority 1, Hit that bike's coordinate, take that bronze chest, farm as many evolution points as the forest will provide, and keep building. Because in 5 days, when the barrier drops, he wants the answer to Wong Tong's threat to arrive, gift-wrapped in dragon fire. Morning kicks in, our guy is out of bed before the sun clears the trees. Pujuan and Rushi wait outside his manor, like two bodyguards yanked out of two completely different anime. Pujuan, golden horns, flaming armor, radiating civilization-ending vibes. Rushi, silver hair, green eyes, radiating, if you can see me, that was on purpose. Straight to the barracks. 10 training slots refreshed. All swordswomen. 10 minutes later, 10 more women march out in perfect formation. Head count of combat units, 26. 20 of them are the 20 Tier 1 swordswomen. Above them, the elites, the command block. He points them at Blackwind Forest. The forest lives up to its name like a 5-star review for depression. Trees so thick the sunlight barely bothers to try. Air heavy with rotting leaves marinated in swamp water. Somewhere far off, a bird screams for no reason at all. Ambience, 100 out of 10 if you enjoy nightmares. Behind him marches the most ridiculous newbie army in the world. Pujuan up front, a walking bonfire in gold-red dragon armor. 3 Xuanja guards behind her, a mobile fortress with shields planted. 20 swordswomen on the flanks, matching leather, all lit up with actual military energy. Nervous, excited, a lot excited. Lanchi in the center, holding a jade staff, radiating calm like a walking therapy session. And Rushi, gone, vanished into the treetops like a ghost made of moonlight and quiet violence. Master. Her voice comes from directly above him, from a branch he didn't know she was in. 5 goblins patrolling 300 meters ahead. Handle 3. He barely finishes the sentence. Twang, twang, twang. 3 sounds, practically simultaneous. 300 meters out, 3 goblin heads pop like green melons at a batting cage. The last 2 goblins stand there staring at their dead friends, buffering. Our guy points at them. Shields, go! His 3 Xuanja guards charge like armored freight trains. One of them shield bashes a goblin so hard it flies backward through several trees. That goblin got hit so hard its grandkids felt it. The last goblin turns to run. 20 swordswomen swarm it like piranhas on a chicken nugget. Green blood splatters across their faces. One girl freezes for a second. Then her eyes light up with the unmistakable spark of a rookie who just discovered she loves this. First blood in the books. Rookies become soldiers in about 60 seconds. They push deeper. More patrols. More one-sided cleanups. Rushi picks off the dangerous ones from the trees. The swordswomen mop up the rest. Pujuan stands around looking bored, because nothing needs her yet. She is basically a nuclear weapon at a fistfight. Present, but unnecessary. Then they hit the coordinates. Rushi materializes at his shoulder, like she was always there. Master. Goblin camp ahead. 50 hostiles, 1 larger goblin center, and there's a wooden shed at the back. Something's inside. I can sense energy. 50 goblins, 1 elite, 1 shed, 1 bronze chest waiting for him. He looks through the branches. The camp is disgusting. Broken wood, animal hide, garbage strewn everywhere. Kobolds, no, goblins, lounging around, some playing, some sleeping, some doing things nobody needs to see. It looks like what would happen if a landfill applied for a lease. Time for pest control. Puhan. She steps up. Runes on her dragon fang greatsword start glowing. Her face lights in crimson firelight. Beautiful, fierce, terrifying. Like a painting titled, "The Last Thing You'll Ever See." Charge in. Find the elite. Crush it. Her eyes go supernova. She moves. She becomes a streak of gold-red light and smashes through the camp entrance like a cannonball through a paper wall. Trees, fences, wooden posts, everything in her path disintegrates on contact. A dragon roar erupts from her that shakes the whole forest. Birds flee. The air itself gets scared. Every goblin in the camp instantly collapses. Legs give out. Bodily functions probably follow suit. Eyes go wide with pure soul-deep terror. 50 goblins reduced to 50 quivering piles of regret because a dragon war god walked into their yard. One of them fights it. The elite. Bigger than the rest. Massive rusty cleaver, roaring back, trying to organize a counterattack through sheer stubbornness. Brave. Wrong day for bravery. Because falling from the sky above him is Pujuan, greatsword raised. Die, split. Not hit, split. straight down the middle. Two halves fly in opposite directions. Before they hit the ground, dragonfire incinerates them into ash mid-air. That goblin went from alive to particle in less than a second. 10 evolution points. 1 shot, 1 uninstall. Our guy exhales the word cold and quiet. Kill them all. His army unloads. The Schwanja guards seal the exit like 3 armored bouncers at a club that just permanently closed. Every shield swing turns a goblin into a green pancake. His silver armor swordswomen flow through the gaps like liquid mercury with edges. 2s and 3s. Hunting. Dodging. One girl reads a wooden club swing, does a pivot that belongs in a dance recital, and takes a goblin's head off in one motion. She licks her lips and moves to the next. Yesterday, nervous rookies. Today, collectors, under 60 seconds. 52 goblins, 0 survivors. 0 friendly casualties. 52 evolution points from the camp alone. The camp looks like modern art made entirely from green body parts. He walks to the shed, pushes the door. There it is. 1/2 meter long, bronze-colored, glowing softly. Covered in rough carvings, with a simple clasp on the front. Bronze treasure chest. Open. Click. Teal light floods the dark shed. 3 items sitting inside. A yellowed skill book. An ancient building blueprint. And a small glowing stone. His eyes go to the blueprint first. Moonwell Construction Blueprint. Rarity, rare, blue. Special building. Produces 10 units of moonlight spring water daily. The water boosts recovery speed and mental power for anyone who drinks it. Effects doubled for female units. Doubled for elf-type units. His entire army is female. Every single unit. This building was tailor-made for his exact roster. And it comes with a passive aura. 20% mana regeneration for every friendly unit within 100 meters. Lanchi is about to become a spell-spamming machine. He is physically vibrating. Item 2. The Skill Book. Eagle Eye. Green quality. Passive. Expands vision range and improves dynamic sight. Not flashy, but for a commander who needs to spot ambushes from 1/2 kilometer out, priceless. He learns it instantly. A cool wave washes through his eyeballs. Suddenly the world is in ridiculous high definition. He can count the legs on a caterpillar 30 meters away. Item 3. Moonlight Stone. Rare blue. Pure moonlight crystal. Required material to build the moonwell. The chest didn't just give him the blueprint, it gave him the ingredient to actually build the thing, winning the car and getting free gas for a year at the same time. They pack up and march home. Behind him, Bikes is presumably still in world chat trying to find a party. Finders keepers, buddy. Except our guy didn't find it. He conquered it. Back at base, the moonwell goes up in under an hour. 200 wood, 200 stone, 1 moonlight stone. White light blooms from the ground like the earth is giving birth to something holy. White jade rises. Crystal water fills a shallow basin. A soft moonlight glow hovers over the surface, smelling like a spa designed by angels. Just standing near this thing, his tired brain from a long day of goblin genocide flips to refreshed and ready for more goblin genocide. He calls Rushi and Lanchi over. Both women immediately lean toward the well like moths to the most beautiful lamp ever built. Drink? Lanchi sips delicately. Of course she does. Everything she does is delicate. Her whole body relaxes, like someone pressed a spa day button on her soul. Her mana bar visibly refills in real time. All the day's fatigue evaporates. Rushi grabs her portion and chugs it like a soldier downing a protein shake. No savoring, pure efficiency. Then her body jolts. She makes a sound halfway between a gasp and a growl. As a half-elf, the moonlight energy doubles up on her. Her eyes flare with barely contained power. He lets every soldier drink from the well. His territory turns into a wellness retreat for warriors. Happy sighs everywhere. A cat-eared swordswoman's tail is wagging so hard he thinks it might detach. This is his kingdom, and it is very weird, and he loves it. Then he pulls up his stat panel. 67 evolution points left. He looks at his 20 Tier 1 swordswomen. They are his largest group, his backbone, his infantry, and right now, they are the lowest combat rank in his army. Everyone else is Tier 3 or higher. His swordswomen are interns standing next to executives. Time to fix that. He lines them up in front of the manor. 20 freshly hydrated moonwater-powered women in perfect rows, glowing skin, bright eyes. System. Select all 20. Mass evolution. 1 point each. 20 total. Confirm. 20 pillars of white light slam down from the sky at once. Each beam locks onto one girl. 20 evolutions running in parallel, on one command. Other lords are evolving nothing because they don't have this talent. Our guy is running a batch software update on his infantry like it's Tuesday. Their leather armor cracks apart and dissolves into sparks. Silver chainmail materializes in its place. Form-fitting, reinforced plates on the important spots, functional and fashionable. Their basic swords stretch longer, grow sharper, and start humming with faint light trails along the blade. These are not starter weapons anymore. 30 seconds of light show. 20 new warriors stand before him. Silver light swordswomen, Tier 2. Skill, double slash, 2 rapid strikes for bonus damage. Then a chime pierces the moment. Anomaly detected during evolution. 1 unit has mutated into a rare class. His head snaps to the left, end of the line. The smallest girl in the squad, one of the cat-eared beastkin. Her body is glowing dark gold, not white like the rest, not gentle, sinister. Her chainmail dissolves and reforms into skin-tight black leather that looks stitched from concentrated midnight. Her sword shrinks, thins out, gets evil. Snake-like dark gold patterns crawl along the blade like living tattoos. Her body language shifts entirely. Half kneel, half combat crouch, coiled like a spring ready to explode in any direction. Shadow Blade Dancer, Tier 3. Rare quality. She skipped Tier 2 completely. Straight from rookie to assassin in one leap. Skills, stealth, go invisible, next attack gets a massive crit bonus. Shadow Strike, teleport behind the target and deal enormous damage. She is a teleporting invisible catgirl assassin. He needs a second to let that sentence settle. She looks up at him with the most contradictory expression on the planet. Big round cat eyes, trembling lip, ears twitching nervously. She looks like a kitten who accidentally knocked a glass off a table and is bracing for the scolding. Meanwhile, her stat card says she can vanish into thin air and delete people. Name? I am Tong. Whisper soft. She stammers it. Good name. He reaches out and scratches behind one fluffy cat ear. Her whole body locks. Face goes nuclear red. Ears so hot he could probably fry an egg on them. But she leans into it slightly before catching herself and burying her face further into her collar. This is a Tier 3 assassin who can appear behind people and one-shot them. Ear scratches convert her into a blushing puddle. The duality of woman. From today, you are my first blade aimed at the enemy's heart. Her head snaps up. The scared kitten is gone. In those cat pupils, fanatical loyalty. Yes, master, Tong will never disappoint. 0 to ride or die in 1 ear scratch. Incredible conversion rate. Final roster tonight. 1 Tier 5 Legendary Dragon War God. 1 Tier 3 Moon Priestess. 1 Tier 3 Elf Archer. 3 Tier 3 Heavy Schwanja Guards. 1 Tier 3 Shadow Blade Dancer. 19 Tier 2 Silver Light Swordswomen. 47 evolution points left. A Moonwell fueling everyone. A barracks pumping recruits. A dragon warrior who mutates the sky when she powers up. A catgirl assassin who blushes when praised. Somewhere out there, Wong Tong is polishing his griffin's saddle, sending threats, playing warlord. He has no idea what's building in his backyard. 47 evolution points is not enough to do anything major, but our guy has a plan. He surveys his territory like a CEO checking quarterly reports. Warehouse going up, farms getting dug, everything humming along. His little kingdom looks less like a campsite and more like an actual place with each passing hour. But one problem is choking the whole operation. Resources. Stone and iron especially. His forge is running on fumes. He can't build an arrow tower. Can't upgrade the blacksmith properly. His entire military-industrial future is bottlenecked by rocks. Manor upgrade to level 3? System quotes him 200 points. He has 47. That's asking for a mansion with rent money. Pass. Evolve Pujuan a 3rd time? The cost would probably require him to sell his own organs. Hard pass. Then his eyes land on his freshly built basic blacksmith. Rough stone walls. Baby furnace. Looks about as professional as a lemonade stand at an engineering convention. Here's the logic. He can't create resources yet, but he can stretch the ones he has. Better crafting efficiency means more output from less input. That's not solving the bottleneck. That's outsmarting it. System. Evolve the blacksmith. Cost. 40 points. 40 is almost everything he has, but if this fixes his supply chain, confirm. Dark red light swallows the building. Stone walls melt and reform harder, sleeker. The furnace flame goes from normal orange to blazing white, so hot the air around it starts sweating. Runes flicker across the walls like the building is downloading an upgrade. The whole structure doubles in size. New equipment materializes inside. A quenching pool, a refining station, proper workbenches. His backyard forge becomes a legit workshop. Blacksmith evolved into forge workshop. Tier 2. 10% reduced resource cost when crafting standard equipment. Bonus. Chance to produce fine quality gear with a 10% stat boost. 10% savings across every piece of equipment he mass produces for an army of 26 soldiers. Hundreds of saved resources over time. And random free stat rolls on top. Some of his girls will end up with slightly better swords than others, and he already knows there will be drama about it. Why does she get the shiny one? Because RNG blessed her, that's why. 7 points left. Broke again. Story of his life in this world. Get rich, spend everything, repeat. But the foundation is set. Time to find raw materials to feed the machine. He calls Rushi. He calls Tong. Two figures appear in front of him instantly. Completely opposite vibes. Rushi. Tall, composed, sniper energy, calculating patrol routes before he even finishes speaking. Tong. Tiny cat-eared assassin, black leather, fidgeting nervously, radiating, "Please don't stare at me too long. Foundation's built. Now I need claws. Scout outward. Find me a stone quarry and an iron deposit. Report everything. Threats, other lords, resources." He holds up a finger. Safety first. If they hit anything above their weight class, they come straight back. No heroics. Yes, sir. Rushi is already gone. Yes. Tong tries so hard to sound tough. Cat ears standing straight up with determination. Tail puffed out. They vanish into the forest like two very different kinds of shadow. Night rolls in. He stands on the manor balcony sipping metaphorical tea, watching Lanchi organize workers like a tiny military project manager in holy robes. His kingdom is starting to look like a kingdom for real. Then two blurs shoot out of the tree line and skid to a halt below the balcony. His scouts. Back. Rushi first, clean and clipped. Stone quarry, 3 kilometers southeast. Unguarded. Ready for mining. Stone. Unlimited stone just sitting there. Resource crisis half solved. Tong next, kneeling in the shadow that somehow follows her around at all hours. 5 kilometers north. An abandoned mine full of iron ore. But her cat ears droop. It's occupied by kobolds. How many? She estimates 40 or 50. Mostly Tier 1 miners. 7 or 8 Tier 2 overseers. Something stronger deep inside, but she couldn't get close enough to confirm. Iron mine, plus a full camp of evolution point piñatas, plus a mini-boss at the bottom. This isn't a problem. This is a gift wrapped in a bow and delivered by the universe's finest courier. He jumps off the second-floor balcony, sticks the landing, and immediately starts scratching Tong's ears as a reward. Her whole body goes rigid. Face, tomato mode. Ears, vibrating. Tail, attempting an Olympic figure skating routine. Rushi takes 5 silver swordswomen and heads out to secure the quarry. Lanchi gets orders to build arrow towers once the walls are done, and our guy assembles the strike team for the mine. 23 warriors line up outside the manor within a minute. Pu-Wan at the front, Tier 5 legendary war god, dragon sword resting on her shoulder, like the cover art for a game that costs $70. 3 Xuanja guards, 14 silver swordswomen, and, hidden somewhere in the back, radiating, "You won't see me coming" energy, Tong. Half an hour of speed marching later, they arrive at a low hill with a dark cave mouth gaping open. Abandoned minecarts and rusty pickaxes scattered around. Smell hits them from 30 meters away. Dirt, sulfur, and whatever kobolds use as deodorant, which is apparently nothing. 2 scrawny kobold guards at the entrance, slouching, half asleep, holding pickaxes like they'd rather be anywhere else. These two couldn't guard a sandwich. Tong, sneak in. Map it. Yes. She dissolves into shadow. Gone. No footsteps. No air displacement. He is looking directly at her, and she simply stops existing. 30 seconds later, her voice appears inside his head via some mental link he didn't know she had. Master. 20 meters in. Open area. 15 Tier 1 kobold miners digging. 3 Tier 2 overseers patrolling. He grins. Pu-Huan. Frontal assault. Break everything. Xuanja guards, wall formation, follow her in. Swordswomen, sweep both flanks. Tong, the 3 overseers are yours. Pujuan's smile is the scariest thing in this forest. Kill! She explodes toward the cave entrance like a cruise missile with dragon horns. Every footstep cracks the ground. The two sleepy kobold guards wake up just in time to see a flaming sword coming at them at approximately the speed of regret. Swoosh! Two heads airborne, simultaneous, flying in opposite directions like the world's worst fireworks display. Their mouths are still in the beginning of a scream position when their heads separate from the situation. Fastest career change from guard to decoration ever recorded. 2 points. Pujuan doesn't slow down. Inside, 15 kobold miners drop their pickaxes and start scattering in every direction, like cockroaches when the kitchen light hits them. Total chaos. Pure panic. Beautiful. One overseer, slightly taller, holding a whip, starts screaming at the miners to fight back. Even whips one of the runners. Buddy, your motivational technique needs work. Also, you have about 4 seconds to live. The 3 Xuanja guards lock in behind Pujuan like a steel curtain dropping on a stage. Nobody's getting out. This cave is now a sealed room with predators inside. The 14 silver swordswomen flow through the gaps in the shield wall like mercury with edges. They dance through kobolds like ballerinas at a butcher shop. Slash, slash, slash. Kobold heads roll like bowling balls. Point notifications flood in like a slot machine that only hits jackpots. And Tong, oh Tong, a shadow appears behind one of the Tier 2 overseers. The overseer senses something and starts to turn. Too late. A thin blade of cold light crosses its throat faster than thought. Tong is already gone. Already behind the next one, feet touching the cave wall, body weightless. Moving like gravity is a suggestion, and physics is loose guidance. 1 strike, move. 1 strike, move. 3 overseers, 3 kills, 0 sounds. She fights like water flowing downhill. Inevitable, silent, impossible to stop. The most adorable killing machine in existence. Under 60 seconds, 20 kobolds dead, 0 friendly injuries, 24 evolution points. Our guy nods. This was like watching a professional sports team play against kindergartners. Then the cave roars, not a kobold screech. A deep, angry, earth-shaking bellow from the depths. The walls vibrate. Dust rains from the ceiling. Something heavy is coming. Thud, thud, thud. Footsteps like a bass drum. Getting closer. Getting louder. Out of the darkness emerges a kobold, twice the size of the others. Crude armor made of rocks and animal hide. In its hand, a twisted staff topped with a murky yellow crystal. Its eyes are different from the regular kobolds. Smarter, meaner. The eyes of something that actually has a plan. Kobold Geomancer. Tier 3 Elite. Skills. Earth Spike, Falling Rocks, Rock Armor. The system suggests he handle with care. Behind it, another 20+ miners pour out of the tunnels. Eyes glowing red. Weapons raised. The Geomancer just rallied its reserves. Our guy smiles. Puhan. Smash through that rock armor. Xuanja guards. Hold the line. Protect the swordswomen. Tong. I want its eyes. The Geomancer slams its staff into the ground. The floor erupts. Stone spikes shoot upward like a field of deadly stalagmites, aiming directly at everyone's feet. Earth spike. Shields. Down. The 3 Xuanja guards move instantly. 3 tower shields hammer into the ground. Boom. 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 Wall formation. Stone spikes shatter against the metal like glass hitting concrete. A few slip through toward the swordswomen behind. But his silver girls are nimble now. Tier 2 agility, freshly battle-tested reflexes. They twist, jump, pivot between the spikes in the tight space like combat dancers. Not one gets hit. Now, Pujuan, close the distance. She becomes a red lightning bolt and blasts through the kobold meat shields like they're made of tissue paper. Bodies fly sideways with broken bones. The Geomancer's beady eyes go wide. It clearly did not expect any female warrior to hit like a freight train doing 90. It panics, raises the staff, chants something desperate. A yellow glow wraps its body and hardens into thick stone armor. Rock armor. Smart move. Won't save you. Pujuan is already mid-air. Dragon sword raised above her head. Every rune on the blade blazing. Break. Dragon fang meets rock armor. The cave rings like someone struck the world's biggest gong. Sparks everywhere. Cracks spider across the stone shell like a windshield after a baseball hit. But it holds. Doesn't fully break. This Geomancer's defense is actually legit. First time anything has survived a direct hit from Pujuan. The geomancer screams. Pujuan's force still rattled its organs through the shell like shaking a coconut, and raises the staff toward the ceiling. Yellow glow, rumbling. The whole cave starts shuddering. Boulders break loose from above and rain down like the sky decided to become the floor. Falling rocks. Refrigerator-sized boulders coming down on his troops in a tight space. Mid-fight. Heads up, shields. His 3 Xuanja guards go full turtle mode. Shields overhead, covering themselves and the swordswomen behind them. Boulders slam into the shields and bounce. But the rockfall is wide. Some of his silver girls in the middle of combat have to dodge falling death boulders while simultaneously fighting kobolds. It's chaos. The kind of chaos where one wrong step means pancake. Then our guy spots it. The geomancer's fatal mistake. It is pouring every ounce of focus into the ceiling and the rock armor. Every scrap of brain power dedicated to being a magical nuisance. It completely forgot about the invisible cat girl. Tong materializes behind it like she's been standing there the entire time waiting for someone to notice. Her cat eyes are cold. Not the cute nervous Tong. Not the ear-scratch blushing Tong. Work Tong. 2 poison daggers draw twin arcs through the dim cave light. Target, both eyes. Simultaneously. Squelch. The geomancer loses it. Drops the staff. Both hands fly to its face. Thick kobold blood gushes between its fingers like a broken faucet. Instantly, the falling rocks stop. The rock armor cracks on its own, losing power like a phone at 1%. Beautiful! Pujuan doesn't waste a millisecond. She's on the geomancer before it finishes screaming. Sword raised. Every rune blazing gold. Die. She brings the blade down on the cracked shell with everything she has. Boom! The armor detonates. Fragments fly in every direction like shrapnel from a stone grenade. Underneath, soft, vulnerable kobold flesh. Pujuan's sword keeps going. Doesn't even slow down. Splits the geomancer from crown to belt in one clean vertical line. Like a biology diagram. Kobold geomancer. Elite, defeated. 50 points. 50. From 1 kill. More than his whole first day of goblin farming. The remaining kobolds see their boss get vertically bisected and collectively decide life is more important than loyalty. They drop everything and bolt in every direction, screaming, "Leave none alive." His silver swordswomen launch the cleanup. 14 girls hunting fleeing kobolds through dark mine tunnels like the world's most terrifying game of tag. The kobolds have 0 chance. Every tunnel, every corner, every hiding spot swept. Total battle haul. 82 evolution points. He walks over to the geomancer's split corpse. 2 items glowing on the ground. Item 1, the geomancer's crystal staff, black iron quality, 5% earth magic boost. Requires a mage-type unit, which he doesn't currently have. Filed under, will be useful later. Item 2, a skill book bound in animal hide, glowing earthy yellow. Skill book, Earth Spike, the actual spell this boss was using. Permanent skill acquisition. Also requires a mage unit. Also filed under future investment. 2 solid drops. Not game-breaking, but the kind of loot that makes you feel like you're stacking puzzle pieces for a picture you can't see yet. He pockets everything and stares into the dark tunnels stretching deeper. Somewhere in there, mountains of iron ore waiting to be ripped out of the walls. Xuanja guards pile every kobold body outside and burn them. Everyone else, 5-minute break. Then we go deeper. The bonfire of kobold remains smells exactly as bad as expected, 0 out of 10. Would not recommend as aromatherapy. 5 minutes later, they push into the deep tunnels, winding passages. Pickaxe marks everywhere, air thick with wet mineral smell. This mine has been here a long time. The kobolds didn't build it. They just squatted in it like the world's worst tenants. Pujuan walks beside him, dragon sword ready, red eyes scanning the darkness like built-in night vision. Master. This tunnel is ancient. Look at the walls. The deeper they go, the more iron veins he can see exposed in the rock. Thicker, denser, more frequent. His resource-starved brain starts tingling. The tunnel opens up, and his brain explodes. A massive underground cavern, ceiling covered in stalactites. And in the center, a gigantic vein of high-grade iron ore running through the cave like a sleeping black dragon. The metal surface reflects the torchlight with this deep, gorgeous shimmer that makes his inner industrialist weep with joy. This isn't a small iron deposit. This is a full mine. Enough iron to arm his entire army. Enough to build walls, forge weapons, upgrade buildings, make tools. Everything he's been bottlenecked on since day one, just sitting here in the dark, waiting, we're rich. His swordswomen start cheering. Even the stoic ones grin. Then reality taps him on the shoulder. He looks at his troops. Elite warriors, silver armor, combat-trained killers. Not a single miner among them. Asking his silver swordswomen to mine iron is like asking a Ferrari to haul gravel. But they need this first batch, now. Grab the kobold pickaxes. We're mining. The silence that follows is deafening. 14 elite sword-wielding warriors slowly look down at the dirty pickaxes, then back at him, then at each other. That's an order. What follows is the most beautiful disaster he has ever witnessed. Gorgeous girls in silver armor swinging heavy tools they clearly have zero training with. Every strike is wrong. The angles are wrong. The posture is wrong. One girl keeps hitting the wall with the handle instead of the head. Another swings so hard she spins in a complete circle and almost hits the person next to her. Hair sticks to sweaty foreheads. Armor gets dusty. Elite assassination squad, brought to their knees by geology. He is definitely hiring professional miners. Then Tong pings him again through the mental link. Master, found something? He walks to where she's standing. A section of cave wall covered in vines and rubble. Nothing special looking. Then she presses one fuzzy ear against the rock. Listen. He leans in, presses his ear to the stone. Faint sounds, whimpering, struggling. Something alive back there. And there's a hidden space. He pulls away the vines, finds a small cave entrance sealed with a crude wooden barricade. The kobolds deliberately hid this. Puhuan, open it. She looks at the flimsy wooden bars, looks at her legendary dragon greatsword, looks back, decides they're not worth drawing her weapon for. Just kicks it. Bang! Wood explodes into splinters. A wave of stench hits them. Blood, filth, and suffering compressed into a tiny space. Torchlight sweeps in. Curled up in the corner, shaking violently. A girl. Young. Maybe 15 or 16. Chained hand and foot with crude iron shackles. Wearing rags that barely count as clothing. Skin covered in bruises, welts, whip marks, silver hair. Beautiful, but matted and filthy. Clearly she's been here a while. And on her head, 2 fluffy silver fox ears, trembling with fear. Behind her, a massive silver foxtail puffed up in pure terror. A foxkin girl, chained in a hidden cell at the bottom of a kobold mine. Every woman in his squad goes silent. The kind of silence that comes before someone gets very, very angry on behalf of someone else. Our guy is already calculating how lucky those kobolds are. They died fast. Should have taken longer. She notices them looking at her, curls into an even tighter ball, makes tiny whimpering sounds that could break a stone statue's heart. Her giant fluffy tail wraps around her like a security blanket made of trauma. Master, she's scared of us. Of course she is, Tong. She's been imprisoned in a hole by dog monsters. He softens his voice to maximum gentle. Hey, we're not bad people. We're here to help. He signals Pujuan to break the chains. She walks over, pinches the iron shackles between 2 fingers, and snap, crushes them like chocolate. The fox girl's reaction to watching someone destroy iron chains with 2 fingers is not comforting. Her fear jumps by 300%. Great job, Pujuan. Excellent bedside manner. Language isn't working, so he tries the universal peace offering. Food. Pulls dried meat and clean water from storage. Sets them near the cave entrance, backs everyone away, maximum personal space. She watches for what feels like an eternity, ears twitching, scanning for danger. Every muscle ready to bolt, then hunger wins. She inches toward the food like a stray cat approaching a stranger. Slowly, carefully, licks the meat first, tentative. Then her eyes go wide and she inhales the jerky like a vacuum with abandonment issues. Grabs the water jug, chugs the whole thing without stopping for air. After eating, the terror dials down from absolute panic to suspicious but listening. Progress. Name? Why were you locked up here? She understands him. He can see it in her eyes, but she just shakes her head frantically and makes muffled sounds. Can't speak. Then he notices it. A metal collar around her neck, covered in suppression runes. A silencing collar. The kobolds literally took her voice away. These disgusting little cave gremlins weren't just imprisoning her. They were systematically dehumanizing her. Every dead kobold in this mine suddenly feels more deserved. He points at the collar, then at Pujuan. We'll remove it. She hesitates, then nods. Her massive silver tail gives one tiny hopeful wag. Pujuan examines the collar and shakes her head. It's magic. Brute force might hurt her. What else does he have? Then the light bulb goes off in his brain, so bright it could light the whole mine. What if he evolves it? He reaches out and touches the cold metal collar. His talent activates. Detected. Low-quality silencing collar. Can be evolved. Cost: 10 evolution points. His talent works on enemy equipment. His talent works on literally anything. A torture device worn by a prisoner? Sure, why not? Confirm. The runes on the collar vanish. The metal shifts, transforms, becomes sleeker and prettier, and then, click, the lock pops open by itself. Silencing collar evolved into ownerless storage collar. He gently lifts it off her neck. The system tells him it now has 1 cubic meter of storage space and can be bound by blood. He just turned a slave collar into a magical inventory bag. The fox girl immediately starts coughing violently, gasping, gulping air like someone who was underwater. Her face goes red, then slowly returns to normal as her lungs remember what unrestricted breathing feels like. Then she looks up at him, green eyes, pure crystalline emerald, staring like he just performed an actual miracle. Her hand goes to her bare neck. No collar. First time in who knows how long. Thank you. Her voice is tiny, scratchy from disuse, cracking. But in the silence of that underground cavern, it rings clear as a bell. 3 words. The first words she's spoken in probably months. And she chose to use them on him. He's not getting emotional. He is a lord. Lords don't get emotional over rescued fox girls with big green eyes and fluffy tails. Maybe a little emotional. I'm Uwain. I'm from the Silver Moon Fox tribe. Her voice scratches like an instrument that hasn't been played in months. But underneath the rust, beautiful. The kind of voice that makes you stop and listen. He pulls up her stat panel while keeping his face calm. Name: Uwain. Race: Silver Moon Fox. Level 0. Tier 0. Loyalty 90. Deeply grateful. Potential: S rank. S rank potential. His heartbeat goes from normal to drum solo in about half a second. She's level 0. No skills. No job class. No combat ability whatsoever. She's basically a wet kitten wrapped in rags. But that S sitting in her potential slot glows brighter than everything else on the screen. And she has an A rank innate talent. Moonlight affinity. All stats boosted 20% under moonlight. Mana recovery up 50% at night. She is literally powered by the moon. Combine that with his Moonwell, which already buffs female units and moonlight energy, and his brain is doing math so fast it's smoking. This fox girl is a nuclear warhead disguised as a scared puppy. He keeps his face composed. Where's your family? Her ears droop. Her tail goes limp. Her whole body language collapses like a building losing its foundation. My home was burned by bad humans. Mama and Papa died protecting me. She's crying now. Quiet, broken sobs. The kind that don't make noise because you've cried so many times the sound ran out. I was captured, sold far away. Then the kobolds bought me and locked me here. Every swordswoman behind him is tearing up. Pujuan's hand goes to her dragon sword, and she starts radiating an I will find those slavers and do unspeakable things to them. Energy so intense he can feel the temperature rise. He reaches out and gently pats Uwain's messy silver hair. She flinches, instinct from months of abuse, but doesn't pull away. A tiny victory. It's over now. Nobody is ever hurting you again. He looks her directly in those green gemstone eyes. You have no home, no family. Let me fix both. Join my territory. Become one of my people. I can't promise you everything, but as long as I'm alive, you're safe, and you'll have a home. Was he partly motivated by that S-rank potential? Obviously. But was he also genuinely angry about what happened to her? Also obviously. Good business and good morals can coexist. She stares at him, tears streaming, fox ears twitching, that massive silver tail slowly, hesitantly lifting off the ground. I'm willing? She nods hard enough to scatter tears in every direction. Then the dam breaks, full sobbing. The ugly kind. The healing kind. Ding. S-rank wanderer has sworn loyalty. New citizen acquired. Welcome to the family, kid. He pulls a clean cloak from storage and wraps it around her. Covers the rags. Covers the bruises. Covers the evidence of every terrible thing that happened. Then he hands her the storage collar, the one he just evolved from her chains. Drop some blood on it, it's yours. She obeys. When she discovers the collar now has a storage space inside, her eyes go completely round. Mouth forms a perfect O. Fox ears stand straight up. For one beautiful second, she isn't a traumatized orphan. She's a teenager who just got the coolest present ever. He has her stuff some iron ore into the collar to help carry the haul. She does it eagerly. Happy to be useful. Happy to be part of something. They march out of the mine loaded down with iron ore, battle trophies, and one very small fox girl wrapped in an oversized cloak walking close to his side. Fluffy tail swaying gently for the first time since they found her. His army of warrior women just collectively adopted a little sister. Judging by the protective looks they're all giving her, heaven help anyone who ever tries to touch her again. Golden sunset paints everything warm as they march back to base. Uwain sticks to his shadow like a baby duckling, imprinting on the first person who showed her kindness. Every few minutes she peeks out from behind him at the world, like it's the first time she's ever seen trees that weren't inside a mine. His swordswomen are incredible with her, passing water, sharing snacks, telling little stories to make her smile. Within 30 minutes, the terrified girl who was curled up in chains is actually making eye contact with people. Baby steps, huge baby steps. Then they reach the territory walls. Uwain's jaw hits the floor. Wooden fortifications. Armed guards patrolling. An actual organized settlement. Her fox ears shoot straight up and stay there. Inside, it's even better. Stone pathways. Warehouse. Farms. Barracks. The moonwell glowing softly in the twilight. The smell of actual cooked food drifting through the air. Every citizen bows as he passes. Welcome back, my lord. He can literally watch the concept of safety download into her brain in real time. Her eyes go from, is this real, to, please let this be real, to, I think this might actually be real, in about 60 seconds. Is this really my new home? She whispers it to herself. Foxtail doing a cautious little sway. Hope, fragile, bruised, but alive, flickering in those green eyes. He points her at a swordswoman. Bath, clean clothes, food, her own room. Make it happen. The swordswoman takes Uwain's hand with a smile so gentle you'd think she was handling a baby bird. Come with me, little sister. Uwain looks back at him one last time. He gives her a nod. She goes. By the time he finishes logistics, dumps the mountain of iron into the warehouse, which fills halfway, that mine will supply them for weeks, and cleans up, it's dark. He walks out into the courtyard, and Uwain is standing there. Clean, fed, transformed. The filthy, beaten, half-starved prisoner is gone. A porcelain doll of a girl stands in her place. Simple white dress, silver hair cascading down her back like liquid moonlight. Skin practically glowing under the actual moon. Her fox ears are pristine, soft, fluffy. Her massive silver tail swishes back and forth in slow, anxious waves. She is stunning. Not warrior goddess stunning like Pujuan. Not ethereal priestess stunning like Lanchi. Uwain's beauty is delicate, fragile. The kind that makes you want to build a fortress around it. Lord. She's fidgeting with her dress hem like she's standing in front of a school principal. Relax. Did you eat? Yes, it was really good. Room okay? It's nice. Everyone's been really kind. Each answer a little longer. A little less terrified. The ice is melting one word at a time. He sends her to bed. Then climbs to the top floor of the manor and looks out over his kingdom at night. Torches flickering. Quiet. Peaceful. His brain shifts into planning mode. Uwain, S-rank potential, A-rank moonlight affinity. She's destined to become a mage. Specifically, a moonlight mage who goes absolutely nuclear after dark. With his moonwell already boosting moonlight energy, she'd basically become a walking artillery platform every night. But she needs a class change building. A mage tower. Blueprints for those are rare, filed under critical priority. He checks his evolution points. 1,580. 1,580, from scraping together single points by stabbing lone goblins on day 1, to sitting on 1,500 from one mine raid. The growth curve of his operation is going vertical. Time for another major upgrade. He grins in the darkness. 1,500 points. Enough to evolve something big, something game-changing. He marches downstairs to the secret chamber beneath his manor, and there it is. A head-sized white orb floating in the air, spinning slowly, glowing softly. The central nervous system of his entire kingdom. The territory core. Every lord has one. Nobody ever thinks to touch it, because you can't. Except our guy. He touches it. Cool and smooth, like holding a giant pearl made of concentrated potential. Evolve. Cost. 1,000 evolution points. 1,000. This single orb just ate more points than his entire first 2 days of goblin farming combined. But if he can evolve buildings, he can evolve the thing that powers the buildings. That's just logic. Confirm. The orb goes supernova. White light explodes outward and hits every corner of his territory like a shockwave of pure upgrade energy. The ground trembles. Every single person in his domain wakes up simultaneously. Guards, workers, sleeping swordswomen, Yuane in her new room. Everyone. They all feel the same thing. The earth beneath their feet is expanding. The territory borders push outward in real time, stretching, growing, claiming more land. The moon, which had been hiding behind clouds, suddenly breaks through and beams a spotlight directly onto his manor. Dramatic. Extremely coincidental. Probably not. Territory Core Tier 1 evolved to Territory Core Tier 2. Good. Expected. Then, mutation detected. Territory Core has undergone unknown mutation. Territory Core evolved into Spirit Spring Heart. He reads the stats and his knees go weak. Territory range expanded to 500,000 square meters, from 10,000 to 500,000. His territory just went from a backyard to a small country. All resource production boosted by 20%. All citizens train and improve 10% faster. Mutation bonus, Spirit Spring Eye. A magical spring automatically spawns at the core location. Produces 10 liters of Spirit Spring water daily. Spirit Spring water restores stamina and mental energy. Improves physical constitution over time. And this is the one that makes his brain do a somersault. Gradually increases potential. Gradually increases potential. A D-rank farmer who drinks this stuff for a few years becomes C rank, maybe B rank. His weakest citizens will eventually become strong citizens just by existing here and staying hydrated. This isn't an upgrade. This is a cheat code baked into the foundation of his kingdom. And it can irrigate farmland, turning regular dirt into spirit soil that grows crops faster and better. His agriculture just leaped from medieval peasant farming to magical superfood production. While his brain is still rebooting, the floor cracks open. A crystal-clear spring bubbles up from underground, forming a small pool about half a meter wide. White mist curling off the surface. It smells so fresh and clean, his lungs get a spa treatment just breathing near it. He scoops up a handful. Drinks. Every cell in his body celebrates. 8 hours of rest compressed into one sip. If he could bottle this and sell it, he'd be the richest lord on the continent by the end of the week. 580 evolution points left. Then his mind drifts to a certain silver-haired fox girl sleeping somewhere in the manor. Small, scared, level 0. No skills, no class. But S-rank potential and an A-rank moonlight talent. What happens if he evolves her? An S-rank base with an SSS-rank evolution talent applied to it. That's not addition. That's multiplication. That's taking a diamond in the rough and hitting it with a divine polishing laser. The idea takes root and immediately starts growing like a weed on performance-enhancing drugs. He walks across the courtyard. Midnight, stars overhead. Heart pounding like a war drum. Knocks on her door. She peeks through the crack. Sees it's him. Opens fully. In a white sleeping gown 3 sizes too big. Barefoot on the wooden floor, silver hair flowing everywhere, fox ears twitching, tail curling nervously. Lord, it's late. Did you need something? I want to make you stronger. Strong enough to protect yourself. Maybe strong enough to protect others. Her eyes go confused, then sad. But I can't do anything. I'll just be a burden. He cuts that self-pity off at the knees. You have talent that would make most lords on this continent cry with envy. You just never got the chance. I'm giving you that chance right now. But I need your trust completely. She searches his eyes, looking for lies, tricks, ulterior motives, finding none. This is the man who broke her chains, fed her, clothed her, gave her a home. In her universe, he is basically the sun. I'm willing. Whatever you want to do, I trust you. Loyalty 95. Beautiful. Close your eyes. Relax completely. Don't resist. She closes her eyes. Eyelashes casting little shadows on her cheeks. Obedient. Trusting. He puts his hand on her head. Evolve. Cost. 500 evolution points. Half 1,000. The single most expensive evolution he's ever done. More than Pujuan's legendary upgrade. More than the territory core. She better be worth every point. Confirm. Holy light erupts from his palm and swallows her whole. Her sleeping gown dissolves into sparkles. The evolution light basically confiscates her outfit. The system did not warn him about wardrobe malfunctions during evolution. Someone at Evolution HQ needs to file a bug report. But focusing on the important parts, her body is transforming at light speed. The malnourished frame fills out into something healthy and elegant. Skin goes from pale to luminous. A silver crescent moon symbol materializes on her forehead like a divine tattoo. Then her tail. 1 tail, 2 tails, 3 tails. 3 massive snow-white foxtails unfurl behind her like the universe's most magnificent feather duster, swaying gently in the air. The system goes berserk. Evolution successful. Potential upgraded. SS rank. Mutation triggered. Race evolved from silver moon fox to 3-tailed spirit fox. Talent evolved. Moonlight affinity A rank. Moon god's blessing S rank. Yuan has awakened a unique hidden class. Moonlight goddess. SS rank potential. S rank talent. Unique hidden class. 3-tailed spirit fox. 500 points. Best investment in the history of investments. The light fades. Yuan opens her eyes. Those green irises now contain what he can only describe as an entire galaxy compressed into 2 eyeballs. Starlight and moonlight and ancient powers swirling in emerald depths. She looks down at herself, feels the power surging through her body, notices the 2 extra tails, then notices her current state of undress. Eep! She drops into a crouch so fast she creates a small wind gust, arms wrapping around herself, face going from glowing goddess to tomato with fox ears in about 1/3 of a second. Even her ears turn pink. All 3 tails puff up and wrap around her like the world's fluffiest emergency blanket. He whips off his outer coat and drapes it over her shoulders at maximum speed. Smooth recovery. Very lordly. Definitely didn't stare. Nope, not even a little. She buries her face in his coat, inhales the fabric, turns even redder somehow. Thank you. Mosquito volume. Maximum embarrassment. Loyalty, 100. Until death and beyond. From level 0 prisoner to max loyalty goddess in 1 evolution. He opens her stat panel, and his pupils contract so hard they almost disappear. Race, 3-tailed spirit fox. Class, moonlight goddess. Unique hidden class. Potential, SS rank. Spirit stat, 25 at level 1. Talent, moon god's blessing. All spell damage boosted 50% under moonlight. Mana recovery boosted 100% at night. All healing and buff spells enhanced by 30%. Skills, Moon Arrow, a spirit scaling energy projectile. Moon's Blessing, single target heal plus a 5% all stats buff for 10 minutes. Foxfire Shield, 3 floating fox flames that absorb damage. She can attack, she can heal, she can buff, she can shield. She's DPS, healer, support, and tank, crammed into one small fox girl. She's an entire party composition disguised as one teenager. He gently sets a hand on her shoulder. You are magic. From today, you are never a victim again. Lord. She looks up at him, chin trembling, green eyes blazing with something that isn't fear anymore. It's resolve. Thank you for everything. From now on, my life belongs to you. Whatever you ask, I'll do it. He smiles, tells her to get some sleep, closes the door behind him, walks back to his room. Behind that door, he can practically feel her burying her face in his coat and breathing his scent like it's oxygen. He checks his points on the way to bed. 80 evolution points remaining. 80. From 1580 to 80 in one night. He spent like a drunken billionaire at an auction. No regrets. He bought a mutated territory core and an SS rank fox goddess. That's a portfolio. He lies back on his bed, stares at the ceiling, grins so wide it hurts. Day 2 summary. Conquered an iron mine, massacred a kobold army, rescued a fox girl, evolved her into a goddess, mutated his territory core into a miracle spring, and built the foundation for the most broken kingdom this world has ever seen. 5 days of newbie protection left. Wong Tong, buddy. You have absolutely no idea what's growing in your backyard. Morning hits different today. The whole territory feels it. Every citizen wakes up breathing air that tastes like a mountain spa. People are stretching, smiling, energized before breakfast even lands on the table. Nobody understands why. They just know something changed. He knows. The spirit spring heart is pumping life energy through the land like a heartbeat made of vitality. His kingdom is literally alive now. Best alarm clock ever invented. After breakfast, a real breakfast, because lords eat well, he calls Pujuan and Tong to the dining hall. Pujuan walks in looking like a war goddess who accidentally wandered into a restaurant. Red dragon armor. Body that could headline a fitness magazine cover if fitness magazines existed here. Tong materializes from somewhere. He genuinely doesn't know where she was standing before she appeared. Sharp eyes, tiny ears alert. I found something. It might make both of you stronger. Pujuan's eyebrow goes up. She's tier 5 legendary. Getting stronger from here is supposed to be nearly impossible. He leads them to the secret chamber beneath the manor. Pushes open the stone door. The spirit spring sits there. Crystal clear water, white mist curling off the surface, filling the room with energy so pure it's practically visible. Both women freeze. These are two of the strongest beings in his territory. A dragon war god and a shadow assassin. Both go dead still the moment they feel the energy rolling off that pool. Their eyes go wide at the exact same time. This is spirit spring water. My territory core mutated and created it. It can improve constitution, and over time raise your potential. The word potential hits them like an electric shock. Both faces cycle through surprise, disbelief, and then raw hunger in about 2 seconds flat. Potential enhancement is supposed to be mythological, the kind of thing old legends mention and nobody believes actually exists. Yes, my lord. They don't even use cups. Both drop to their knees by the pool and drink directly from the spring, like two beautiful deer at a magical stream. Dignity, gone. Protocol, abandoned. These elite warriors are chugging miracle water with zero shame. Then it happens. Pujuan lights up first. Gold red light blasts from her body. Beneath her skin, he can see golden dragon blood boiling, literally glowing through her flesh. Dragon-shaped runes flicker across her arms, her neck, her face. Ancient symbols appearing and disappearing like her body is downloading a firmware update. Pujuan's dragon bloodline has been purified. Potential slightly increased. Talent evolved. Dragon Blood Fury A rank into Dragon God's Wrath S rank. S rank talent. On a tier 5 legendary unit. Effect. Activate to boost all stats by 50%. Grants hyper armor. Immune to all crowd control. Duration, 1 minute. Cooldown, 24 hours. 50% all stats. Immune to control. Pujuan was already the strongest melee unit he had. Now she has an I win button she can press once a day that makes her completely unstoppable for 60 seconds. Nothing can stop her, slow her, stun her, freeze her. She just walks through everything and kills whatever she touches. This is obscene. Meanwhile, Tong's transformation is quieter, but equally terrifying. Green wind starts swirling around her tiny frame. Her already sharp eyes go deeper, like looking into two pools that go down forever. Something ancient and perceptive wakes up behind those cat pupils. Tong's soul affinity with natural elements improved. Skill evolved. Eagle Eye LV5 into Truth-Piercing Gaze LV5. Passive. Vision range 500%. Dynamic vision 500%. Active. See through enemy weaknesses. Next attack is a guaranteed critical hit that ignores 30% of the target's defense. Guaranteed crit. Armor piercing. Tong was already a nightmare for squishy targets. Now she's a nightmare for anything with a health bar. Tanks, she'll crit through your armor. Bosses, she'll find your weak spot from 500 meters away. The light fades. Both women stand up. Pujuan is vibrating with power. Master, my dragon blood feels stronger. She looks like she wants to punch a mountain just to test it. Tong speaks in her usual soft voice, but it's shaking. My eyes. I can see further, clearer, everything. Both drop to one knee simultaneously. Perfect synchronization from two women who couldn't be more different. He pulls them both up. You're my left and right hand. The stronger you get, the happier I am. Then he assembles the war party for the day. Time to test the new toys. They roll out of the barrier at high noon. Pujuan up front. 3 Xuanja guards. Tong ghosting the perimeter. Yuane in the center, clutching a jade staff that Lanchi picked out for her. 3 tails swishing nervously behind her. 19 silver swordswomen on the flanks. Lanchi stays back to run internal affairs. The Western Forest is new territory. Unexplored. His eagle-eye passive plus Tong's new truth-piercing gaze means they can see basically everything within a massive radius. They spot scattered monsters before the monsters spot them. The swordswomen clean up easy Tier 1 mobs, banking evolution points. Thanks to the Spirit Spring's training speed boost, they're leveling up noticeably faster than yesterday. Then Tong's voice slips into his ear from the shadows. Master, 3 kilometers ahead. Swamp, at least 30 monsters. All Tier 2. 30 Tier 2 monsters in one spot. That's not a threat. That's a buffet. Stealth approach. Everyone quiet. They creep through the undergrowth until the smell hits them. Rotten eggs mixed with wet dog, mixed with regret. The swamp is a bubbling nightmare of black mud. Lounging in it, massive lizards. 3 meters long, black scales, red eyes, tongues flicking, somewhere between an alligator and a tank with a bad attitude. Black scale lizards. Tier 2, Level 6. Skills: Scale Armor Defense, Swamp Stealth. System description: extremely tough hide with high physical resistance. Perfect. He knows exactly what he's doing. Silver Swordswomen. Frontal charge. Yes, sir. 19 silver streaks blast toward the swamp. The lead girl jumps high, executes a textbook double slash. 2 gleaming arcs of steel. Slams both hits onto a lizard's back. Clang. -7 damage. 7. Out of probably several hundred hit points. Her full-powered skill attack left a scratch so shallow you'd need a magnifying glass to find it. Her face goes completely white. Welcome to reality, sweetheart. Not everything dies when you swing a sword at it. The lizard she hit goes berserk. Its tail, thick as a tree trunk, whips around like a baseball bat aimed at her torso. She twists at the last microsecond, tumbles backward through the mud. Every swordswoman is having the same experience. Swords bouncing off scales like plastic toys. Single-digit damage numbers floating up like insults. -5. -8. -6. They're essentially giving these lizards aggressive massages. 0 penetration. The lizards barely notice. Then 30-plus angry lizards climb out of the mud and surround his girls. Chaos. His silver swordswomen go from confident assault force to desperate dodgeball players in about 10 seconds. Giant tails sweeping, massive jaws snapping, mud flying everywhere. His girls are flipping, rolling, diving, using every ounce of their Tier 2 agility just to not die. Their beautiful armor gets caked in black swamp mud within minutes. Faces splattered, hair ruined. One girl slips and face plants directly into a mud puddle. Another takes a mud ball to the chest and goes flying backward, tumbling across the ground like a rag doll. We can't break through their skin. It's too thick. Incoming mud bombs. Several lizards open their mouths and launch globs of stinking mud like biological artillery. 2 girls get hit dead on and go down, rolling in the muck, completely covered. Our guy watches the whole thing from the rear with complete calm. Is he worried? Not remotely. This is intentional. These girls have been steamrolling everything since their evolution. Goblins? Easy. Kobolds? Easier. They've never fought something they couldn't hurt, never experienced true helplessness on a battlefield. This is the lesson, the crucible. The moment where rookies either break or forge themselves into something harder. You don't build elite soldiers by letting them win every fight. You build them by making them struggle, bleed, get covered in lizard mud, and keep fighting. This swamp is their graduation exam, and the real firepower is standing right behind him, waiting for his signal. One of his girls takes a tail whip to the ribs and goes flying like a silver baseball. He winces. That's going to bruise. Then, golden light. Not from him, from her. Level up. In the middle of combat. Then another girl levels up. Then a third. Then a fourth. Simultaneous battlefield promotions triggered by pure survival pressure. Spirit Spring training boost plus life or death adrenaline equals accelerated growth. His plan is working. The girl who got launched picks herself up, mud dripping off her armor, fury in her eyes, and charges right back at the same lizard that hit her. Double slash. Clang, clang. -18, -20. Finally broke double digits. Her post-level up stats actually make a dent. A small dent, but dent, problem. These lizards have about 500 HP each. At 20 damage per hit, she'd need to swing her sword 25 more times to kill one. And there are 30 of them. Physical damage isn't cutting it, literally. Time for Plan B, or more accurately, Plan Fox. Yuane. Poor girl is white as paper. First time seeing monsters in a real fight, her fox ears completely flattened, 3 tails puffed up like silver dusters. She looks like someone showed a kitten a horror movie. See your sisters out there? They need you. Use moon arrow. Aim. She swallows hard. Looks at the struggling swordswomen. Something shifts behind those green eyes. Fear turns to determination. Yes, master. She raises her staff. SS-rank spirit stat ignites. In the name of moonlight, arrow. A silver bolt of pure compressed moonlight screams across the swamp and drills into a lizard's side. Minus 220 damage. 220. His swordswomen have been tickling these things for 5 minutes and doing 7 per hit. Yuane walks up on her first day, throws 1 spell, and does more damage than all 19 of them combined. Every swordswoman on the battlefield stops and stares. Jaws dropped. The collective expression, "Are you serious right now?" The lizard she hit abandons its target and charges straight at her. Eek! Yuane screams. Fox ears standing straight up in pure terror. Tong. 1 word. A black arrow materializes out of nowhere. Truth-piercing gaze activated. Target. Open mouth. Weakness identified. The arrow flies into the charging lizard's gaping jaws. Minus 655. Critical. Weakness penetration. The lizard drops dead so fast it slides forward through the mud on momentum alone, stopping about 2 meters from Yuane's trembling feet. Good work. Her terrified face instantly turns cherry red. Maximum embarrassment despite literally just helping kill a monster. This girl's emotional range goes from scared hamster to blushing hamster with no stops in between. New strategy. Swordswomen hold the line. Pin the lizards. Create space for Yuane. Instant morale boost. Now they have a purpose. Not killing, containing. 3 girls per lizard. Dodging, blocking, keeping the beasts occupied while Yuane turns into a moonlight turret behind them. Moon arrow, moon arrow, moon arrow. Silver bolts rain into the swamp like divine artillery. Each one deleting massive chunks of lizard health bar. Her S-rank spirit stat means she can fire practically forever without running dry. She levels up to 2, then 3, getting stronger in real time while fighting. But 30 lizards is still a lot, and his swordswomen are getting overwhelmed. We can't hold much longer, one girl screams, 3 lizards snapping at her from different angles. He looks at Pujuan. She's standing next to him, arms crossed, dragon sword resting on her shoulder, face absolutely blank with boredom. She's been watching this whole fight the way a lion watches puppies play wrestle. Pujuan. Her eyes light up like someone plugged her into an electrical socket. Go! She becomes a red comet. Crashes into the lizard formation like a bowling ball hitting pins made of meat. The first lizard she touches doesn't just die. It goes airborne. Launched 3 meters up. Those famously indestructible scales? Pujuan's dragon blade goes through them like wrapping paper. Minus 1,250. 1 hit, 1 kill. She lands, stomps the ground hard enough to create a mud explosion, and spins her flaming sword in a full 360 horizontal arc. 3 lizards cut in half simultaneously. 6 halves of lizard flying in 6 different directions. The swamp looks like a blender filled with reptile parts. His 19 swordswomen stand frozen, mud-covered, exhausted, watching their supreme commander single-handedly delete an ecosystem in about 8 seconds. If they were doing 7 damage per hit and Pujuan is doing 1250, she's hitting 178 times harder than them. That's not a power gap, that's a power canyon. Battle complete. 72 evolution points. Yuane leveled to 3. Multiple swordswomen broke through to level 4. Everyone grew from this fight. Strip the scales off every lizard. Those are tier 2 crafting materials. The forge is going to love them. Yes, sir. 19 mud-covered, blood-splattered, grinning girls scream, diving onto lizard corpses with knives like it's Black Friday at a leather store. Evolution points, 162. Tong, scout deeper, she vanishes. 30 seconds later, she's back. Her face is doing something he's never seen before. She looks worried. Master, look. He follows her gaze to the center of the swamp. Bubbles. Hundreds of bubbles rising from the mud, getting bigger, getting angry. Splash. Something erupts from the swamp. 3 times bigger than any lizard they've fought, covered in obsidian black armor plating. A horn growing from its skull like a medieval weapon. Red eyes the size of lanterns lock directly onto him. Roar. The sound wave literally pushes mud outward in a shockwave. Trees bend. Birds flee. His swordswomen grab each other for balance. Swamp Lord, Black Scale Lizard King, Tier 3 Elite Boss. Level 10. Skills. Reinforced Scales Passive. Toxic Spit, War Stomp. System description. The absolute ruler of this swamp. Its armor can withstand entire armies. Its poison can rot all living things. The king of this disgusting swamp. And it just woke up from its nap in a very bad mood. His breathing gets faster, not from fear, from excitement. All units, battle stations. The Swamp Lord roars again, and the sound wave hits like a physical wall. Every swordswoman goes sheet white, legs shaking. These girls just got demolished by the regular lizards. Now there's one 3 times bigger staring at them like they're appetizers. Formation, Yuan, support. Swordswomen, flanks only. Do not tank hits. His voice cuts through the panic like a knife through warm butter. Everyone snaps into action. Fear is temporary. Orders are forever. The Swamp Lord opens its mouth. A cave of teeth big enough to park a car in. And fires. A high-pressure stream of green toxic sludge blasts toward him and Pujuan like a chemical weapon fire hose. Master, watch out! Pujuan throws her entire body between him and the poison stream without a millisecond of hesitation. Dragon sword up, shield position. Boom! Toxic acid hits the dragon blade and starts smoking. Actual corrosion on a legendary weapon. The splashback rains down across the battlefield like the world's worst sprinkler system. Don't let it touch your skin. His swordswomen dive, roll, scream through the mud trying to avoid acid rain. One girl catches a few drops on her chest plate, and it burns through the silver chainmail, through metal, in seconds. This boss isn't playing. Then it raises a massive claw and slams the ground. War Stomp. Shockwave detonates outward. Every swordswoman goes airborne. 19 silver-armored girls launched like ragdolls, landing in the mud with splashes. Paralysis debuff. Can't move. 19 elite warriors lying in swamp muck like beautiful, helpless statues. Even Yuan in the back gets knocked stumbling, face going white. Pujuan takes the stomp at ground zero. The stun effect is about to lock her body down. But in that split second before it activates, her golden dragon eyes blaze with fury. Dragon God's Wrath, activated. A pillar of gold-red flame erupts from her body. The stun effect hits her immune system and gets rejected like a bad credit card. 50% boost to all stats. Total control immunity. 1 minute of being unstoppable. Yuan, Moon's blessing on Pujuan, now. Yuan fights through her dizziness. Raises her staff with trembling hands. By the moon god's name, blessing. Holy moonlight pours down from the sky and wraps around Pujuan's blazing form. Additional 5% all stats on top of the 50%. Health regeneration, 2 power-ups stacked on each other. Pujuan is now wrapped in dragon fire and moonlight simultaneously. She looks like a war goddess descending from heaven to file a complaint with the universe. Die! She hits the boss like a meteor. Minus 850, minus 880, minus 810. Chunks of health bar vanishing with every swing. The legendary dragon blade is carving through that obsidian armor like it's cardboard. Each impact sends cracks spider-webbing across the boss's supposedly invincible scales. Behind her, Yuan is unloading. Moon arrow, minus 115. Minus 280 crit, minus 118. Magic damage bypassing physical defense entirely. The boss is getting hit from 2 completely different damage types simultaneously. Physical devastation from the front. Magical bombardment from the back. Nowhere to hide. Master, his armor is too thick! My rage mode won't last forever. Clock ticking. Need a finishing blow. Need Tong. Silence from the shadows. Then, understanding. Tong closes her eyes. When they reopen, they're glowing teal. Truth-piercing gaze. Active. The entire world turns black and white in her vision, except for one spot. 3 centimeters below the boss's horn. A tiny gap between 2 scales. Pulsing bright red. Weakness identified. Pujuan. Force it down. Target 3 centimeters below the horn. Pujuan doesn't question it. She launches sideways and slams her dragon blade into the boss's knee joint. Crunch. The Swamp Lord buckles. Its massive body dips downward. The weak point is exposed. Tong draws her black bow. Full draw. Muscles locked. Breathing stopped. Truth-piercing gaze locked on. Guaranteed critical. 30% armor penetration. The arrow leaves the bow like a shooting star cutting through darkness. Thwip. It threads through that impossible gap between scales like the world's most lethal needle through the world's most dangerous eye. Minus 3,580. Critical hit. Weakness penetration. 3,580 from one arrow. From a single catgirl with perfect aim and supernatural target analysis. The boss's health bar doesn't just drop, it craters. Green blood erupts from the wound like a geyser. The creature thrashes wildly, smashing everything around it in agony. Uwain, focus the wound. A moon arrow 3 times thicker than normal screams into the open wound. Minus 450 crit. Weakness bonus. Puwan, end it. Pujuan licks her lips, jumps, soars into the air above the thrashing boss. Both hands on the dragon blade. Every rune blazing gold. Every ounce of buffed, blessed, rage-empowered dragon warrior strength channeled into one final strike. Dragon Fang! Shatter the stars! A crimson comet falls from the sky and drives directly into the gaping wound. The boss freezes. Its lantern-red eyes go wide with disbelief. Then, boom, it collapses. The impact crater splashes mud 50 meters in every direction. The ground shakes. Birds scatter. The swamp goes silent. Swamp Lord. Tier 3 Elite Boss. Defeated. 100 evolution points. Pujuan leveled to 6. Tong leveled to 6. Yuane leveled to 5. And all 19 swordswomen light up with golden light simultaneously. The boss experience is so massive it catapults every single one of them to level 5 at once. 19 instant level ups. The battlefield looks like a golden fireworks display made of beautiful, mud-covered women having the best day of their careers. 3 loot items drop from the boss's body, glowing with rare quality light. Loot 1, Rare Blueprint. Spirit Field Conversion. Loot 2, Rare Material. Swamp Lord's Horn. Loot 3, Rare Item. Toxic Core, 100 evolution points. 3 rare drops, a full army level up, and a triple hero power showcase that proves his team composition is the most disgusting combination on this continent. Pujuan for raw devastation. Tong for surgical precision. Yuane for magical bombardment. 3 women. 3 completely different kill methods. 1 very dead boss. He looks at the massive corpse sinking into the mud. Then at his 3 heroes standing in the aftermath. Pujuan wreathed in fading dragonfire. Tong lowering her bow with cold satisfaction. Yuane clutching her staff and panting with wide eyes that say, "Did I really just do that?" "Yeah, kid, you did." Evolution points, 262. This swamp belongs to me now. Everything in it belongs to me. They march back at sunset, looking like a refugee column that won the lottery. Filthy, exhausted, loaded with loot. Lanchi sees them coming, and her jaw drops. "My lord, did you all fall into a swamp? Won a battle. Minor detail. Tonight, victory feast. Fill the bathhouse with moonwell water and heat it up. Every soldier gets a soak. That's an order." Her eyes sparkle. "Yes, my lord." The 2 halfling cooks go berserk in the kitchen. These tiny, adorable girls turn out to be culinary geniuses. Massive slabs of beast meat roasting over the bonfire, dripping fat, filling the whole territory with the kind of smell that makes stomachs write love letters to noses. Spirit spring water simmered into rich broth that smells like heaven opened a restaurant. Meanwhile, the bathhouse becomes a cloud of steam and moonlight-infused water. His swordswomen pile in after peeling off destroyed armor. The moonwell water works its magic, healing bruises, soothing muscles, washing away swamp trauma. He can hear laughter and splashing from across the territory. Happy soldiers are loyal soldiers, and right now, his soldiers are the happiest they've ever been. While his army enjoys their well-earned rest, he's in his study staring at the Swamp Lord's horn and doing math. This horn could make an epic weapon, but his forge workshop is only tier 2. That's like trying to cook a 5-star meal in a microwave. He needs to upgrade again. Forge evolution cost, 250 points. His balance, 262. 12 points to spare. The tightest budget he's ever worked with. But enough. Evolve the forge. Dark red light explodes skyward, turning the whole manor crimson. The forge building transforms, expanding, restructuring, growing more furnaces, more anvils. When the light fades, dwarven runes cover every surface. A massive smokestack punches into the clouds, belching sparks and smoke, like an industrial dragon clearing its throat. Forge Workshop Tier 2 evolved into Dwarven Forge Tier 3. Rarity, rare. Master forging, resource cost reduced 15%. 20% chance to craft rare quality gear. 5% chance to craft epic purple quality gear. Rune enchanting unlocked. Can now enchant weapons with elemental damage or special properties. Alloy smelting can combine multiple metals to create entirely new alloy materials. Epic weapons. Enchanting, custom alloys. He went from guy with a basic workshop to owner of a legendary forge that can produce divine equipment. He grins, cackles a little, stops, realizes people can hear him. Then he walks out into the plaza and sees her. Rushi, sitting alone, drinking soup, silver hair catching the firelight. Beautiful, deadly, and completely left out. A wave of guilt hits him like a truck full of shame. This woman was his first hero, his first evolution. The one who carried him through day one when he was a nobody with a wooden stick. She single-handedly slaughtered 80 goblins in one night so he could build everything he has. She trained 6 hunters from scratch without being asked. She ran reconnaissance missions, she did everything right. And he forgot her. Twice. 2 major battles. He didn't even bring her along. He was so busy evolving Pujuan into a dragon demigod and turning Yuine into a fox goddess that he completely neglected the woman who started it all, An Tong. He'd been using her as a bow user. She's a shadow blade dancer, an assassin. Her entire skill set is stealth, daggers, and teleporting behind people. And he had her shooting arrows from 100 meters away like some kind of sniper. That's like buying a Ferrari and using it to deliver newspapers. Everyone, come here. Pujuan, Tong, and Rushi gather around him. The mood shifts. They can feel something's different. Rushi. Yes, master. Green eyes, still calm, still professional, hiding a loneliness he should have noticed weeks ago. I neglected you. You've been training soldiers, running patrols, doing everything perfectly, and I repaid you by leaving you behind. That ends now. She trembles. Didn't expect that. Starts to say something about being honored to serve. No, you deserved better. He turns to Tong. And you? You're an assassin. I turned you into an archer because it was convenient. That was my mistake. He pulls out the 2 boss materials, hands the toxic core to Tong. This is boss-grade poison. Enchant your daggers with it. From now on, you fight how you were born to fight. In the shadows, with blades, up close and lethal. Tong's hands close around the pulsing green heart. Her cool facade cracks. Pure excitement bleeds through those cat eyes. Ears standing straight up, tail rigid. Tong will complete every mission without fail. She drops to one knee, fist to chest, voice shaking with gratitude. Then he turns to Pujuan and tosses her the Swamp Lord's horn. Tier 3 epic crafting material. Take it to the Dwarven Forge. Get yourself a weapon worthy of a war god. Pujuan catches the horn, which is thicker than her thigh, looks at it, looks at him, and her golden dragon eyes go supernova with joy. She kisses the horn, full lips on monster bone. Makes a loud mwah sound. Zero shame. Master, I love you. She screams it at full volume in front of the entire army. 40 women hear that. Nobody is surprised. Pujuan grabs the horn, grabs Tong, and they sprint toward the Dwarven Forge like 2 kids racing to a candy store. Then they come back 30 seconds later looking like deflated balloons. Master, we can't figure out how to open it. It needs a professional blacksmith. He stares at her, then at the forge, then back at her. He has a Tier 3 epic forge. Tier 3 epic materials. 2 of the strongest warriors on the continent. And 0 blacksmiths. He built a Lamborghini factory and forgot to hire mechanics. Incredible strategic planning. Nobel Prize in Leadership. It's 10:47 at night. Recruitment resets at midnight. Everyone, party continues. At midnight, we're all gathering at the Spring of Life. I need this recruitment to deliver a miracle. The next hour is the longest of his life. Pujuan paces outside the forge like a caged tiger, those long legs eating up ground back and forth. Hugging the horn like a teddy bear, his swordswomen are placing bets on what will come out of the spring. Tong sits in a shadow holding her toxic core, occasionally sniffing it like it's perfume. Yuane drifts up beside him, 3 tails swaying nervously, green eyes reflecting the bonfire light. She doesn't say anything, just stands close, quiet, comfortable in his presence for the first time. He glances at her, small smile. She blushes down at her feet. Midnight approaches. His entire elite lineup gathers around the spring of life. Pujuan, wreathed in dragon armor, arms crossed. Tong crouched on the edge of the pool. Rushi standing beside him, longbow on her back. Presence quiet but there. Lanchi in white robes, holding a jade staff. Yuane clutching her fluffy tail. 19 silver swordswomen forming a wide ring behind them. The 3 Xuanja guards standing at attention. 40+ women, 1 lord. 1 glowing spring, 1 recruitment button. Recruitment refreshed. Midnight, day 3 complete. He steps forward, raises his hand over the glowing water. The whole territory seems to hold its breath. Then he slams the button. Recruit. The spring blazes with light brighter than any previous recruitment. The Spirit Spring Heart's ambient energy is supercharging the process. The water boils. Golden runes flash across the jade rim. White mist explodes upward like a geyser. The light gets brighter, brighter, blinding. Every woman in the ring shields her eyes. Pujuan's dragon eyes narrow. Tong's ears flatten. Yuane's 3 tails puff up. Something is coming out. Something big. Something the spring has never produced before. The light peaks. A figure begins to rise from the water. Taller than a normal recruit. Broader. Cloaked in something that sparks and hums with mechanical energy.